share that. I mentioned that a spirit woman came to me with her soft voice when I was 4 years old, and she told me we had Chinese in the family, and I didn't finish that. And decades later, my aunt Marin came to visit back in 2008, I believe, and she got to talking, and she said, "Oh, do you know that Mama's great-great-grandmother's Chinese?" And I was like, wow. I seen that. I seen it in some of the relatives, Puerto Rican, but they Chinese looking. Well, they had Chinese slaves in Puerto Rico too. Nobody really talks about that. But my great-great-great-great-grandmother was Chinese. And she was a Chinese slave in the island of Puerto Rico. I mean, we're all talking about it now, you know, Native Americans mixed with the Mexicans, mixed with the Puerto Ricans, mixed. We have more Taino than the Dominicans. Dominicans have more African. So I've been, you know, learning a lot about this. I've always been onto this since I was a kid. When a young black man approached me on Park Street, I must have been 9 years old, and he asked if we were really Spanish. I already knew what he was thinking. And I told him the truth. I said, no, we're not Spanish, we're Puerto Rican. And I've been onto that because, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, you don't look Puerto Rican. Yeah. Well, obviously, you've never been to Puerto Rico. So you go over there, you see all shades of Hispanic, so whatever. And so learning this right now is just like exciting because I was already onto it. You know, black people even know that black people speak Spanish. You know, my mother's boyfriend, he was from Puerto Rico, and he was black, and he spoke Spanish. But it just never clicked. And I remember black people freaking out in the north end of Hartford, like, oh my God, that black guy speaking Spanish. I must have been 7. And, yeah, Puerto Rican. But they didn't know about that. So, can't erase history, and it's good to know it.